thinking of this moment where I was in the back of my truck and I was sleeping about I think it's about maybe 10 years ago, something like that. I can't quite remember. But anyway, I was in Oakland, California, and I was sleeping in my car. And I wrote this quote that said, my mama had screws in her leg like Superman had in his head. Doctor said she'd never walk again. I told the woman, close your eyes, use your mind. I taught the woman how to glide. Then I wrote this other piece in the truck where my grandmama said, when I was locked up in jail, I was getting ready to serve a 6-month sentence. And I was turning myself in on Fridays, getting out on Sundays. And my grandmama said, baby, get on people your body, but don't get on people your mind. So you know what that meant for me? At that time, while I was in jail, it taught me how to travel mentally. And wherever your mind will go, you can physically end up there. So a lot of the things that I'm living, it's more so scary to me because I wish I had understood the power of what comes out your mouth when I was 15. The power of the way that your mind thinks. I would never say the word can't. Don't. I don't use them words. I don't say ing words because that's present tense or you're going to do it. Everything I say is I done been on Oprah. Now, have I physically did it yet? Not yet. But that's the way I think. I'm crazy enough to think that far ahead in my future, you know, because so for me to travel around the world, you know what I'm saying, I remember sitting in the truck, basically to answer your question, I remember sitting in the truck and setting my mind free saying, man, one day, my grandmama told me if I just put my mind in China, one day I'm gonna be there. You know, my grandmama told me one day if I put my grandmama told me, hey baby, I need you to get, when I was atheist and I was lacking faith in any religion, my grandmama said, I need you to get closer to God. Who would have ever thought that most people closer to God would be to pick the Bible up? Before I ever even picked the Bible up, I'm in Israel. I mean, how close can you get? Getting baptized in the Sea of Galilee. This is a lifetime accomplishment for me. I've done something, the person that got me closer to God has never even been to the Sea of Galilee. Man, right now, I'm emotional right now because of the thousands of people that's reposting my quotes from the TED Talk video. I mean, I got so many quotes, man. I wrote like over 5,000 quotes when I was sleeping in my truck. And to see people actually rewriting the quotes, like, I don't look for jobs, I create them. It's okay for your pockets to be broke, just make sure your mind makes sense. I fell in love with success, so I guess that means I cheated on failure. I just tested positive with MTD, motivated transmitted disease. If you touch me, look at me, email me, or hate on me, I will infect you with motivation. To see, especially that quote, because when I first put that quote out, my mom was like, don't put that one out. Because she didn't think people would receive it the way that I wanted them to receive it. Mm-hmm. But I felt like I was tired of the seeing, and I'll use this story as an example. The way I created the MTD quote was, I was sick of seeing society put us in a disease world as if we was created to have diseases. So I said, since y'all gonna create y'all disease, I'll create a positive one to offset the one you got. So I created MTD because society teaches people to learn from a negative perspective. That's why all my quotes start off negative. It's okay for your pockets to be broke. Just make sure your mind makes sense. I just tested positive. As soon as you hear that, the whole crowd, the audience just stops. What do you got? So I just use a unique way of teaching. What if you work so hard to gain everything you wanted, only to realize you lost everything you needed? So you just sit and you think about it after. It's just the way that I teach. Every single quote starts off from a negative perspective. So one day I did a speech for LMU, and dude runs up on me and says, oh my God, man, you have no idea how much the quote changed my life. And it's recorded. It's on this. You can go on TV, on YouTube, and you can type in Billionaire P.A. speech at LMU. It's at the end of the video. The dude says, man, I done wrote 4 books because of your quote. I don't look for jobs. Not I don't look for jobs. He said, I done wrote like 3, 4 books because of your quote. It's okay for my pockets to be broke. Just make sure my mind makes sense. And then I had a rich person come to me and they was like, I don't know if I believe in that quote. And I was like, well, when I wrote the quotes, I wasn't trying to convince the world. I was trying to convince the people that live the life that I live. I was trying to convince the people that got money and that trying to convince the people who on Instagram with 300,000 followers but don't got no money in the bank. This don't make no sense. You don't know how to use your resources. Like like I said before, we so into, our generation now is into the followers. We into the likes and the comments. Well, let's see, since you so into numbers and you got your numbers together, let's start posting our bank accounts online. We walk around showing our butts with our pants sagging. That's personal. We get big chains and we wear them and we floss. That's personal. We get a Bentley, we rent it, we lease it, whatever. We want to stunt, we show it off. We act like we got all this money in Hollywood. Post your bank account. Let that be one of the deciding factors if I want to work with you or not. Now, so this don't get misconstrued. Do I really care about your bank account? No, I just want to challenge people, like the Bible was written in Braille. And the reason it was written in Braille was because it was set in stone for people to keep their word. That's the whole moral of this. But some people won't understand me and they think it's about the money. I don't care nothing about no money. I want you to, if you're a man, like we set this interview up on here, I just met you, like people really need to, one of the questions need to be, how long ago was it that I met you in this company? Like a week ago, and a week later, we sitting right here at living this dream.
Thank you for watching A Wise Way. Subscribe to stay updated, share to pass the knowledge, or view our other videos on the left.